New South Wales recorded 4 new locally acquired cases of COVID in the 24 hours to 8 p.m. last night. One of these cases was reported yesterday but is included in today's numbers. There was also 1 new case acquired overseas, and that brings the total to 4,789 cases. As the Deputy Premier indicated, it was pleasing to see 32,667 tests performed in that 24-hour period to 8 p.m. last night, and that's up on the previous day's testing of around 26,000. It is critical that we see that sustained high testing rates. We do need that over a sustained period of time because we are concerned that there are unrecognised chains of transmission, particularly in the Berala and the surrounding suburbs, including Wentworthville. We have established 2 additional testing clinics in Western Sydney, 1 in Berala and 1 in Lidcombe. There's a walk-in clinic that's been established outside the Berala Public School Hall at 216 Harrow Road and is open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week. And people attending the clinic will not be able to access to other areas of the school grounds and its facilities, such as any areas there. And there's also a new drive-through clinic that's operating in Lidcombe from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. today, and then from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. 7 days a week after that. And the drive-through clinic is located at the Sydney University's Cumberland campus, 39 Waroona Road, Lidcombe, with access via Gate 3. So just remember that testing is free for all and you don't need your Medicare card to be tested. Please come forward and get tested. So of today's 4 locally acquired cases, 1 is linked to the Berala cluster, and this is the young man from Western Sydney I mentioned yesterday who also travelled to Western New South Wales. And there are now 16 cases associated with the Berala cluster. So there was testing of his travel companions of the case, first announced yesterday, who had visited those towns in Western New South Wales. All have tested negative to date, but remember, they are in isolation for the 14 days since their last contact with the gentleman, and then they will be retested again on exit and if they develop any symptoms. The next case was a man in his 20s who's a household contact of a case linked to the Avalon cluster, and this is a household contact that has been in isolation for the full infectious period, and this is what we want to see and the whole purpose of identifying cases and enabling that public health action. And one was from Western Sydney as a household contact of a previously reported case whose source remains under investigation. And yesterday we said this case was likely to be linked to the Berala cluster, but again that person was also isolating. The 1 new case, and we issued a number of public health alerts last night related to this case, was a gentleman in his 30s from Western Sydney, and it's under investigation. He has no direct links to the Berala BWS or the Berala cluster, and so we are being very cautious about finding any of those missing chains of transmission. So we are continuing to call for anyone who went to either the BWS or Woolworths in Berala between December 20th or December 31st to check our website for testing advice. And depending on the time you were there, you may be a close contact who needs to get tested immediately and isolate for 14 days. So if you've not checked, please do so. We have also added a number of venues in Western Sydney connected with the case that I've just spoke about. So anyone who was at the following venues on the dates and during the times listed is urged to immediately get tested and self-isolate until you receive further advice from New South Wales Health. And now I just want to explain that initially what we're doing is doing stop and stay. So while we assess the risk in the venue, we get the lists, we contact people, alert the community, ask them to get tested and to remain in isolation. We will then get back, and as we have more detailed information about the layout of the venue, the way in which the person moved around the venue and the activities they undertook at the venue, that will inform whether people are close contacts and having to isolate for those 14 days or whether they're considered casual contacts. So please bear with us. That is the purpose of that initial stop and stay, and then we'll get back to you with the details. So the Sydney Murugan Temple at Mary's Hill on the Friday the 1st of January from 12:40 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Maryland's RSL on Monday the 28th of December from 4 p.m. to 4:45 p.m. The Savannah Bhavan Indian Restaurant at Parramatta on Monday the 28th of December from 10:20 to 10:50 a.m. A cricket match at the Ollie Webb Cricket Ground at Parramatta on Monday the 28th of December. It was a social cricket match from 7:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. And Sydney Marina dine-in and takeaway at Pendle Hill on Sunday the 3rd of January, 12:30 p.m. to 12:50 p.m. We have also upgraded our advice for 2 of our Western New South Wales venues, and can I thank the community in Western New South Wales for coming out to test so strongly this morning. So if you were at the Birdies Noshery and drinking establishment in Orange between 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. on Sunday the 3rd of January, you are a close contact and must get tested and isolate for 14 days regardless of the results. If you were at the Gourmet Cribton at Broken Hill between 10 a.m. and 10:40 a.m. on Saturday the 2nd of January, not the 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. as reported last night, you are a close contact and must get tested and isolate for 14 days regardless of the result. And just a reminder to Sydney-siders that Broken Hill is on the Central Time, not Eastern Time. So if you're passing through and hadn't reset your watches, you may have been there half an hour earlier than you thought. Thank you.